Hey, shalom, shalom. Hi, Rob Tawab La Atam Za Akyakam Yawan Man Rachagadol Charlotte, which is good evening. This is your brother Yawan from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nacham Atam Kaya Hamalakwa Thashamayim Kwara repent ye for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Layam La La Abanawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rocha Kwadash Wamashana La Zakwaniam Nawa Wamalakim Sho Rocha Gadol, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means He exists, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai delivers, and double honor to those and apostles of Great Millstone. All right. So I just wanted to go into the topic of what's called reincarnation. All right. Which goes into again, and carnation that pretty much goes into back in the flesh, which in the scriptures is referred to as regeneration. Because goes into again. Gene goes into generation, or pretty much back in the flesh. So I don't want to Yapa, Lord's will. This is a beautiful edification through the spirit, and we'll start at Kwahalat Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and we'll get verse 9, and it says, the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. You see, so the Lord deals in regeneration. All right, a lot of times, we'll see kingdoms regenerated. All right, and we'll see, different spirits regenerated. You see, continuing on, it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new, it hath been already of old time, which was before us. You see, so even going into some inventions and stuff like that, things are never necessarily invented. They're just innovated, because a lot of times innovation goes into, a different use, or even with the inventions, like inventions, a lot of stuff was here already, for those specific purposes, i.e., like if you take like sunshades, they had sunshades, back in the ancient world. All right. Also different ways to, travel, different ways to send messages. Like we send text messages nowadays, you see, but they had different ways of doing things back in the ancient world. Even like with scuba diving, they had like a some type of like scuba tank made out of like goat, like a goat lung or a goat bladder. And where pretty much they was deep sea diving, back in the ancient world, you see. So nothing can ever be said that, hey, this is new. Pretty much how the scriptures is going into. Continuing on, it says, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You see, so you don't remember, your past lifetimes, all right, and also you don't know what's in store for you, But indeed, the Lord does deal with regeneration. All right. So continuing on, this is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. It says, behold, I will send you Elijah Alayah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. You see, so Elijah, was a prophet, in the ancient world. You see, but the Lord sent his spirit again, all right, into our elder apostle, Abba Bivens, in the regeneration, you see, which I'm going to continue on. It says, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. You see, so the truth, all right, essentially in a regeneration, all right, again, came via, all right, through Abba Bivens, all right, who was Elijah in the regeneration. You see, so continuing on, let's get Daniel chapter 12, we get verse 13, and it says, but go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt, Salah, but go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. You see, so when you go into this word for stand, it says imad, and it says to stand, to take one stand. It says Salah, it says to make a stand. It says erect. It says appear, come on the scene. You see, so essentially in a regeneration, Daniel's back, currently, prophesying. All right, because the prophets, they come back in there a lot. All right, I'm gonna get that too. This is Bon Sirach, chapter 27. Bon Sirach 27 and verse 8, verse 9, it says, the birds will resort unto their like, so will truth return unto them that practice in her. You see, so the prophets always come back, in their lot. The prophets always come back prophesying. You see, 2/3, they come back being 2/3. All right, this is it's a lot. All right, this is First Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 32. It says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. You see, so, all right, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. All right, they come back in the order of the prophets. All right, it's not going to be to where, again, someone was 2/3, all right, and they come back as a prophet, or a prophet was, a prophet was a prophet in the ancient world, and they come back as 2/3. No, the spirit of the prophets are essentially returned to a prophet. You see, so if you was prophesying in the ancient world, hey, you can be prophesying today, all right, in these last days. You see, I'm gonna keep going. Verse 33 says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. You see, so the Lord does things in order, just like this verse right here, verse 38. It says, verse 40, let all things be done decently and in order. All right, it's decently and in order to have the spirit of the prophets be subject to the prophets. All right, the prophets are always going to return in their lot. All right, so let's get this. This is Matthew chapter 11. We'll get verse 11, and it says, verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John, and if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. You see, so pretty much, the Lord Yahweh Shai was essentially saying that, John the Baptist, all right, was Elijah, all right, in the regeneration, which that's a that comes off as a a hard saying to these Christians, so-called Christians, because they don't understand the topic of regeneration. You see, because the Spirit isn't dealing with them. You see, but nevertheless, hey, the Lord deals with regeneration, reincarnation. All right. So let's get this. This is Matthew chapter 17 and verse 10, and it says, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. You see, so that shows that the Lord deals in regeneration. All right, it says plain as day. All right, so let's get Matthew chapter 19, and we'll get verse 28, and it says, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, all right, read again, generation in the generation in genes, back in the flesh, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yasha'Allah. You see, so in the regeneration, you see, because there will be, all right, elect members, all right, that are following the Lord, all right, in these days. You see, because again, birds resort unto their like. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Continuing on, it says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive an 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. All right, so again, that's coming to the ones that follow the Lord in a regeneration. All right, so let's get this. This is John chapter 9. We'll get verse 1. It says, "And Yahweh Shai passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did send this man or his parents that he was born blind?" You see, so if he was born blind, how will he have the opportunity to sin? Let's see. And it says, "Or his parents that he was born blind." Yahweh Shai answered, "Neither hath this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him." You see, so again, going back up to verse 2, it says, "And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" You see, how would you be able to sin, all right, at birth? He was born blind. You see, so like how ultimately will he be able to be judged, if he didn't necessarily have the opportunity, to commit a sin? You see, it had to be in his past lifetime, So it's showing you that, regeneration, all right, again, is biblical. All right, let's get this. All right, this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7, and it says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen." I'm curious to see what it says in NLT. It says, "Look, he comes with the clouds of heaven," talking about the chariots, "and everyone will see him, even those who pierced him, and all nations of the world will mourn for him. Yes, Amen." All right, so pierced, all right, that's past tense, you see, because the Lord was pierced, back when he was crucified, you see. So how exactly, would those that pierced him see him? All right, they would have to be brought back in the regeneration, for their judgment, all right, in this lifetime. All right. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 45, and it says, "And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul, the last Adam was made a quickening spirit," which that's talking about Hamashiach. All right, which Adam, all right, that was one of his generations. All right, you see, and the Lord was Adam. He also was Isaac, Yatazachak. All right, and then also Solomon, Shalamah. Okay, Malak Tazadak. All right, Melchizedek. All right, and then we came in as himself, Yahweh Shai. When he was crucified. So again, it's driving home the point that regeneration is biblical, and then I also wanted to get a precept that's going into how the Lord was Solomon. All right, this is 2 Samuel chapter 7. Actually, I'm gonna get this. This is I'll get this, and then I'll go back to that. This is Matati at Matthew chapter 22. All right, and we'll get verse 42, and it says, verse 41, it says, "While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahweh Shai asked them, saying, What think ye of Hamashiach? Whose son is he? They say unto him, The son of David. He saith unto them, How then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahweh Shai, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions." You see, because, if you're not in the spirit, you won't understand it. Again, that's why these so-called Christians don't understand it, All right, they it goes well past their head. All right, you see, but King David, all right, he was talking, he pretty much, I'm going to go back to verse 44. It says, in the latter, how then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool, which, King David was in the spirit. This is in Psalms, I believe. And King David essentially was talking about Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai was Shalamah, King Solomon, all right, in one of his generations, all right. And just to prove that, let's get 2 Samuel chapter 7. All right, we'll get verse 12, and it says, "And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers," which this is going to King David. And it says, "And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, King Solomon, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men." You see, so King Solomon wasn't, stricken with the stripes of the children of men. All right, he wasn't beaten. All right, this is Yeshaya, Isaiah 53 and verse 5, and it says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed." All right, pretty much going into 2 Samuel. All right, showing that, Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, is going into Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's get this. This is Lamentations. This is Lamentations, Salah, chapter 5, and we'll get verse 7. And it says, "Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities." You see, so showing you that, we have to be our forefathers, you see, because we're pretty much in captivity, you see, because we went off, you see. And the Lord said, essentially, let me get this real fast. This is Numbers 14 and 18. It says, "The Lord is long suffering and great and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation." All right, and somebody without understanding, they'll say they would say that's not just, you see. But with the understanding, all right, ultimately we understand that we are our forefathers coming back, you see. So we're essentially just playing out, our judgment, you see. I'm gonna get that real fast. This is let me see. This is Ecclesiastes Quahalath, chapter 1 and let me see. So give me a second. This is Quahalath, Ecclesiastes, chapter. See if it's in chapter 4. All right, this is Ecclesiastes Quahalath, chapter 3 and verse 16, and it says, And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. All right, let me get this in another version. And it says NLT. I also noticed that under the sun there is evil and the corruption. No. NIV says, and I saw something else under the sun. In the place of judgment, wickedness was there. In the place of justice, wickedness was there. All right. Read the KJV again. It says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and in the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Pretty much going into the earth. That's what judgment is played out. You know, you you get your judgment, all right, and then you pretty much play out your judgment on the earth, all right. Because again, we aren't just here one time. We've been here before. Our spirit has been here before. So I'm actually start from verse 15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High required that which is past. All right, so if different things, different sins and stuff like that, at different times. All right, essentially, those sins, the judgment for those sins, all right, is played out, all right, in the different lifetimes, all right, because it can be something that we're judged for, all right, in this lifetime for something that we did, prior, because the Lord requires that which is past, all right. So continuing on, let's get we'll get Second Esdras. We'll get Second Esdras, chapter 14, and verse 35. It says, "For after death shall the judgment come." You see, after death, we die, when we die, all right. Essentially, all right, the judgment comes after the death. All right, then the judgment is played out. Back when you come back into the flesh, regeneration, reincarnation. When we shall live again. I'm going to read it again. It says, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. Regeneration, reincarnation. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. The point that I wanted to get out of this verse was, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. All right. Because essentially, your judgment is played out, when you come back in the flesh, So I got one more. All right. This is Yashaya Isaiah, chapter 14. We'll get verse 21. All right. And it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right. And this is for, Esau, and these heathen, you see, because essentially, all right, chiefly Esau, Esau has enslaved the children of Yasha'Allah, all right, and those are one of many of, his crimes that he's committed, throughout the earth, all right, and they are, all those hateful deeds and stuff like that Esau did, in the 1500, 1600, 1700, so on and so forth, all right. Those were their forefathers, all right, you see, but they are their forefathers coming back in the regeneration, you see. So it says that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Which the scriptures say, hey, if they be multiplied, it's for the sword, roughly paraphrasing. So, the Edomites that are born, from this point on, you see, hey, either they going to go into slavery, or they being born for the sword, to meet the sword, So I got one more. Let's get Job, I believe it's chapter 19 and verse 25. And it says, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, you see, because when someone goes into the ground, essentially it decomposes, and the worms, they pretty much all over that body, and essentially it goes back to the dust. All right. It says, yet in my flesh shall I see a power. You see, so essentially talking about when the Lord Yahweh Shai all right, is dispatched, to return to, the earth. All right, because Job is going to be here on the planet Earth, all right, standing, all right, in his lot, all right, in the end days. You see, because again, the concept of regeneration, reincarnation is biblical. You see, so I just want to go into that. Adonai Tazah Zabanaya Palos, where there was a beautiful edification through the spirit. While Adonai Tazah Atam Yashlay Allah Tawab, Lord, as well, you all have a good night. Wa Shalom Lakam, which is peace unto you all.